Hi, my name is Erin, and the title of my speech is Issues That Affect Learning. The central idea of my speech is to focus on how issues such as poverty, culture, and racial inequality affect learning. Before I further my speech, I would like to give a quiz that focuses on culture and brings to attention how difficult it is for people from other cultures to learn in an environment that is different to them. The topic of how poverty, culture, and racial inequality are important to all of us is because we will pay a high cost later in life if we do not educate everyone the same. Today I'm going to talk about 3 problems that affect learning. The first step in solving a problem is recognizing there is one. I have done this through elementary school, college, high school, and middle school. I have realized that there are problems with learning and the inequalities that go along with it. I have also researched this topic very thoroughly. I'm going to inform you of 3 problematic areas, first being poverty, the second being culture, and the third being racial inequality. Now that we know 3 areas we need to address in order to have a successful learning in our schools, let's first begin with how poverty affects learning. There are so many things that are against people with poverty. In the article, In the Shadows of the Ownership Society 2006, there is a story that the authors tell about a girl named Annette. When she is little, she is abused by her mother, and she is given away, and she goes from home to home and to different families, never having a stable background. She is not able to graduate high school because she is pregnant and can't go throughout high school and learn at the same time. This just reemphasizes generational poverty. The article also shows the issues of students who do actually get a chance to get into a school system and who are lucky enough. The issues are attendance, academic failure, poor achievement, and lack of support from families and friends. This is just a few of the effects poverty has on learning. Now that we understand how poverty affects learning, let's continue with how culture also affects learning. There's a disconnect in learning when the language at home is different from the language a student is expected to know at school. In the book Teaching for Diversity, the main concept is that teachers must recognize diversity in culture as, quote, "No thread in this fabric is better than another," instead of abnormal. It is important that the teacher respect the language that a student may use in their home setting and not think of it as inferior. With our understanding about culture and poverty, let's finally talk about racial inequality. From the Out of Sight, The Journey Through the School to Prison 2006 journal highlights racial inequality and points out that students of color are many times alienated and become loners. The article describes the outcome of being alienated and not wanting to come to school as the push-out syndrome. Basically, they're troubled students who the administrators don't want to deal with, and they just get pushed out and are left alone. 3 areas that contribute to the large number of these students who leave our schools are school discipline, high-stake testing, and graduation accountability. The authors of this article provide a wealth of statistics that show the connection between male, Black, and Latino students who struggle in school and were pushed out of the school and into the population of prisoners. So basically, it's the troubled students, the administrators don't want to deal with them or have to deal with their bad behavior, and the student is pushed out, which is the main problem because their behavior is the best when they're in school and probably the most stable environment for them because they don't know any better. To wrap things up, the compelling call to action is that good teachers can make a difference in a student's life and can offer a safe haven as well as good interventions for a student of poverty, cultural, and racial inequality. Today I have explained how poverty, culture, and racial inequality affect learning. Because education is so important, educators must strive to form a positive learning experience for every student. And maybe by making the situation visible, the teachers and administrators will be forced to take a look at the consequences of dismissing these students rather than working harder to keep them in school. Thank you for your time.